Jesus, this is my message to you, to thank you for everything that you did over the years that I spent with you.
First day I met you, I was standing along the Sea of Galilee, cleaning my nets. You just hopped right in my boat, and we took off, so that you could teach the massive crowd that was following you.
I had heard a lot about you, but I didn't know that there were that many people following you.
You told me to cast my nets into the water, and I did.
I had warned you beforehand that we wouldn't catch anything. I had tried the entire night before.
We pulled in the biggest catch of fish I had ever seen in my life. Jesus, I never deserved to follow you. I'm a sinful man, and I'm gracious for the time that you allowed me to spend with you.
By the way, I actually kind of like the name Simon, but since you wanted to call me Peter, that's fine.
You fed the 5,000, you raised people from the dead, you almost killed us in a storm. But you also taught me so many things, so many lessons. You often taught in parables, but none of us could understand what you were teaching. You took James, John, and I up onto the mountain. There, you transformed and stood next to Elijah and Moses. I wanted to build 3 shrines in each of your honor, but I did not know what I was saying.
You kept talking about some guy who would die and then rise from the dead. But I was blind and deaf. I didn't realize that that man would be you.
You taught us that the temple or the church should not be the basis of our religion, but it should be our relationship with God. You showed that to the vendors by going through and flipping over their tables. Also, that massive temple in Jerusalem, you told us that not one stone would stand left unturned.
You often answered questions with questions of your own. Now, this tactic was very useful in talking to the Pharisees and other people, so I decided to try it on my own. So when one of my friends asked me, "Hey, what do you want for dinner?" I responded with, "What is written in the law?" I didn't get quite the response that you would have, so I think I still need to work on it a little bit.
You sent me ahead earlier that night for the Passover meal, where we would later eat the body and drink the blood.
You seemed a bit off that day.
That night, you predicted that I would betray you 3 times before the rooster crows. I didn't think that I would actually betray you. I was willing to follow you to death and to prison. We went to the Mount of Olives to pray. You told us to pray that we would not fall into temptation. But Lord, it was really late, and I was really tired. I'm sorry, but we all fell asleep. But later that night, Judas came, and he came with others, and they betrayed you and took you away. But I followed at a distance. The people in the crowds accused me of following you 3 times. I was terrified. I was scared for my life. So I denied your name 3 times. Then the rooster crowed, and you looked me in the eyes, and I realized what I had done. I was so distraught that I went outside the gates and I wept. They took you away and nailed you to a cross. After you died, they put you in a tomb. 3 days later, 3 women came to me and told me that the stone had been rolled away and that your body was gone. So I booked it over there and saw that the stone was rolled away and your body was gone. I have no idea what happened. 2 travelers then came to us disciples and told us that they had seen you, and you had risen from the dead. Then some figure appeared in our presence. Not until you opened our minds did we know that it was you. And then your time came, and you rose into heaven.
Lord, I told you that I would never disown you. You are the Messiah, and you are my friend. I'm sorry, Jesus. I let you down. I do not deserve to have spent such precious time with you while you are here on earth. Lord, forgive me of my sins. You taught me so much while you were here on earth. All I want to say is thank you.